My name is Kim Kochanoff, and I was actually born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. I always wanted to work in medicine, and when I was a little bit older in college, I actually was treated by a PA and asked about the career as it is, and thought, gosh, this really aligns with what I wanted to do. And so I started looking into it, and I never looked back. I am the clinical director for the PA program here in Mesa, Arizona. After I graduated from PA school, I came back to the Valley and worked in family medicine. And one of the practices that I worked at did precepting for PA students at ATSU. And I fell in love with the teaching side of it and got to know a little bit of the faculty and learn more about ATSU. So when a position came open for a clinical coordinator, I interviewed and got the position. And after about 3 or 4 years, the director position opened up, so I moved into that role. One thing I love about ATSU is the students and the faculty, and everybody really seems to have a common goal and a common mission, and they want to be the best they can be to serve people that desperately need that type of service. And when you get that kind of group together, it's really synergistic and really encouraging. I say I can connect a preceptor with a student anywhere, but what we're doing is unique, what we're doing is special, and I'm proud to be a part of it. As a faculty member, you come from a clinical practice, so you're a content expert when it comes to being a PA, and you get to academia and you have to learn how to teach, you have to learn how to develop into another role, and you kind of get to that point where you want to take it to the next level. And the DMSc is perfect for that. Especially here at ATSU, there's different tracks of the DMSc you can pursue. I chose to go through organizational leadership because I've really enjoyed my role as a director and wanted to continue in that trajectory. But I just finished on Monday my doctorate, so I actually am looking at doing the education track in addition. So once you complete the actual doctorate degree requirements, you can go back and develop yourself in other areas, which is really cool. Working full-time and going after your DMSc, it's doable. It's really in a lot of ways like PA school in that it's really time management that makes a difference. It's utilizing your resources and your support system. We always tell the students when you go to PA school, everybody's going to PA school. It's not just you, it's your spouse, it's your children, it's your parents, it's the whole group. And that was really what made the difference for me in being able to finish, is that people came along beside me and allowed me the time to do what I needed to do to achieve that. So as a faculty member, obviously you interact with people at a certain level. And when I was choosing ATSU, I had looked at all the other programs and I thought, is this going to be awkward or weird that people that I am shoulder to shoulder with are now going to be reading my papers and doing critiques? I didn't want to put them in an awkward position, and it's a little embarrassing on this end. But when it really came down to it, it's like these people have been championing you since you came here. What better place to be than in a place where people want to see you grow and want to see you achieve? And so really when it came down to that, that was what helped me make the decision. But as a student, I realized really what fabulous faculty we really have. And I mean that sincerely. I was really blown away by the fact that I hadn't been in school in 20 years, and certainly 20 years ago you didn't have an online program that you don't interface in person with people, and yet they're able to make it to where you feel you're interacting and there's somebody there for you and you can reach out. So I was really surprised by how I did feel part of a program and how the interaction really, I felt at home there rather than out in cyberland somewhere. So yeah, fabulous faculty though, really. I think the biggest adjustment to doing online school versus the traditional schooling we did 20 years ago was not having books. It was very strange not to have the tactile learning. So I originally was printing off chapters, and after a while I really adapted and enjoyed the fact that I could be mobile and I could go on vacation and have an afternoon and have my textbooks available to me, and I wasn't carrying around a 50-pound bag. So the technology, as a faculty, I already had most of that under my belt. But for the rest of it, it was just a matter of adapting, learning, looking at things a different way, which we all need to do in order to keep up. It's interesting, we actually have students that are in their master's level program that they can dual enroll, if you will, for their last year and begin their DMSc. And then there's those that it's not the right time. And so I would say it's really important for you to think about why you're doing what you're doing. What are you going to get out of it? For me, when I was in PA school, it was about becoming a PA and being the best PA I could, that I don't think I would have appreciated all that I'm learning now in the context of that. But now, 20 years later, when I'm at this academic part of my life, it really was what I needed to take that extra step to get that additional learning and development that I needed to be better at this role.